Okay. Hello, 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 everyone. How are you all? Hopefully you're doing well. And if not, hopefully we can make your day just a little bit better. Well, hopefully. No guarantees on that because, well, I can't guarantee something. As much as I may want to, it's just not within my power. It's something to do. But we're going to be doing some more Heavensward MSQ here. Avno is keen to inform Vidofnir of Lord Ravana's defeat. Shall we be on our way to our next shrine, then? I would not have the dragons think that we have forgotten our that we have forgotten our bargain. So I finished Volume 4 of the Destiny 2 Grimoire anthology. And you know what? I'm actually kind of scared a little bit of Marasov's power. And by a weaker extent, the power that all Awoken actually have. And it kind of hinted that the more powerful ones are the ones who sort of transcended first. But it basically stated that she went and got herself killed on purpose so she would die and so that she could find a way to resurrect herself from the afterlife. And thus become a sword that is a bomb or a bomb that is a sword. It that part was a little odd and I'm not quite sure I fully understand it and I'm still trying to piece it all together. But thou art returned, little one. Hast thou abandoned thine ill-conceived contest with the Nath? Nay, my friend, we return in triumph. By Illusion's hand was the beastman's god Lord Ravana laid low. In his overconfidence, the primal swore to withdraw with his followers from your lands in the event of his defeat. A promise we believe he will keep. The Nath shall trouble you no longer. The deity is slain, then how dost thou contend with his biting blades? But the particulars matter not. Thou hast fulfilled thy promise, and I shall fulfill mine. Attend me, mortals, high into the deepest reaches of morn, and there shall you find Halo, the altar from which you may begin your ascent to the summit of Somme All. But be fairly warned, the minions of Nidhogg shall not lightly suffer your presence on that sacred mount. By your struggles within the cavern shall I judge your party possessed of sufficient fortitude to proceed. We shall not disappoint you, Vidofnir. If memory serves, the Cavern of Morn is entered from the second floor of the central tower. Let us begin the climb. Yeah, and it's a long climb. I mean, that very obviously came from somewhere. But I have a problem with this. Where did it come from? So I'm looking around, and I'm not seeing where that could have actually fallen from. I've been doing a lot of fishing. I actually got fishing up to level 50 today, thanks to this fishing expedition thing called the Endeavor that got released. It makes fishing so goddamn quick. I mean, it's not even funny how quickly you can level fishing in that. The only problem with it is that it's on a schedule, and it's once every 2 hours, and it's only like half an hour long, so it's like not even really that. It's about 20 some minutes long. So you're basically in an instance for about 20 minutes or so, a little bit over 20 minutes. And then to go again, you have to wait 2 hours to be able to queue up for it again. I took a wrong turn back in Albuquerque. Now I gotta find my way back down. Me, what I do? What I do now? And hey, North, how are you? You remember that climb? Yeah. At some point, I'll finally get to content you haven't done on this game, but I'm not even sure that you finished everything with the Heavensward expansion, if I remember correctly. I think you finished the main game, but I don't think you ever finished all the patches. All the story that led up to Stormblood, and then Stormblood itself, and then Shadowbringers. Although it's very interesting playing this game finally with sound at all times, with sound and audio, and not skipping any of the cutscenes. Ah, so you haven't seen anything from Stormblood and on. I loved Stormblood. Yeah, let's see, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, all their content patches. That is just so simple nowadays, it's not even funny. That is a laughable fight at this point. I missed a turn somewhere, somehow. Yeah, back in my day, it was a pain. This is also not the way. I remember, North, I don't think you were here when Moogamog was brand new content. I think you were here like a couple patches afterwards, but I was here when it was new. I am lost. I missed a turn somewhere. The Odin Fate? Yeah. Yeah. And then the Behemoth Fate as well. Maybe I need to go down? Yeah, this looks closer to being right. He still spawns from time to time. But they actually came out with an 8-man trial for Odin. I have not yet unlocked that trial on this character, so I can't really show it off to you. Yeah, they did. It's a slightly different fight, but a lot of the mechanics are still there, just toned down for an 8-person fight. I would say honestly with some better rewards. Are in the trial rather than going and fighting them as a fate. No, I don't think at any point are you able to get a mount off of him. I'd have to check, but I don't believe so. Well done, little one. As promised, I shall open the way to Som Al's summit for thee and thy companions. Heed me now, children of man. The domain you seek to enter hath not seen visitors of your kind in nigh on 1,000 years. Though I freely grant you passage, your presence will not be welcomed. To my kin, this mountain is revered as a holy ground and resting place both. Where are the minions of Nidhogg during your ascent? For 'tis certain they shall take great offense at your intrusion. We are grateful for your warnings, gentle Vidofnir. My final words are for thee, Dragoon. Have care to keep the stolen power thou yieldest in check, lest it breed further despair. Estinian? The way is open, let us not tarry here. A moment, shall we blindly forge on, knowing the dangers that await us? Tiamat herself is said to guard this peak. I do not fear Nidhogg's consort. Any dragon fool enough to bar our path shall feel the sting of my lance. You're an idiot. Spoken like a true butcher. Need I remind you that we are come to parley at peace? Let us be clear, heretic. 'Twas to save Ishgard and her people that I first lent my support to this doubtful venture. And 'tis for their sake that I go now to speak with Rosvagar. But I said nothing of Tiamat. Should the opportunity present itself to rid my people of one of their deadliest enemies, I shall take it. That is my duty as a Azure Dragoon. You are beyond redemption. We will accomplish nothing by bickering. If we are to meet with Rosvagar, our path leads up the mountain. We shall defend ourselves if attacked, but avoid conflict wherever possible. What other choice do we have? Oh, now to do the dungeon thing. Okay, so we're in the middle of a volcano. I wonder what all this veins of red stuff actually is. My guess is probably iron of some sort. But who knows? We'll just do some off-class leveling here while we wait for the queue to count down. Okay. Now I need to find... level... I should probably try and find some level 10. I'll also probably try to see if I have any better gear, actually. So that might help with bettering my chances. Oh, that helped greatly. But no, as for what I was saying earlier, it's like I was reading the fourth volume of the Grimoire, and it's just like Marasov is just so incredibly brilliant and devious, and a power beyond anything I can really truly comprehend properly. I mean, it literally states that she went and threw herself on Oryx's sword to be killed, just so that she could be dead. She set up events to make it so that the Guardians went to go kill her, or kill Oryx, so that when she bided her time to come back, she'd have one less enemy in play to that'd be against her goals, or I should say goal. She timed her return. I am just really unlucky. It's like 80% chance we'll miss 75% of the time. Okay. Instance queue is popped. This first part of Somao is very beautiful looking. Samurai's probably has probably some of the best looking attacks of any of the different classes here in Final Fantasy 14, in my opinion. This is where it actually pays to be on a range class. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Further up we shall go. Up and up we go. Where we'll end up, no one knows. the nice part about when I played Bard is I didn't have to chase after these guys when they ran over somewhere. Go. It's a boss fight already? Or is there one more pull? I guess it's boss fight time. I thought there might be one more pull here, but apparently not. I got no inventory space left. Get out of the AoE. Do not stand in the bad. Key rookie move. Do not stand in the bad. Unless you're a Dragoon, then your main job should be tanking the floor. That is your sole and only job. So, come on. I'm sure there's more things there that need to be rolled on. It would seem Team 1 was the last. I sense no other dragons nearby. What is happening? Nothing good. See, like I said, nothing good. Nidhogg, he roars. He knows we are here then. His fury, it bleeds through the eye. Fear not, I am yet my own master. But that damned worm's wrath burns hotter than flame. Come, the heart of the dragon's homeland yet lies before us. Thus do we need another link to the chain of vengeance, O Saint Shiva? Where will it end?
To the peak of Som Al, at the end of a perilous mountain path, whence could be seen a string of pearl-like islands floating impossibly atop a sea of clouds. To a domain where dragons and men had once lived in harmony, whose majesty no mortal eye had glimpsed for nigh on 1,000 years, they came.
Ah, we know what this area is. I'm sure if this is probably one of our community members, Ellie, fellow streamer. This is probably her favorite area in the game, is my guess, because she loves Moogles. We have reached at last the peak of Somal. 'Tis said to be the highest mountain in all of Eorzea, you know. I thought it cold in Coerthas, but the air here carries a chill of a dozen winters. Well, then we know North wouldn't be happy here. Alfno ponders the means by which you might find Ralsvagar. Now that we have scaled the mountain, there remains the problem of finding Ralsvagar himself. What manner of creature is that? Run away! Did my eyes deceive me, or was that a Moogle? That was a Moogle. Yeah. It was my understanding that they only dwelled within the Twillswood. I certainly never expected to see one in the churning mists. If the Moogle does live here, however, he may know where the Ralsvagar makes his lair. Quickly now, before we lose the creature completely. Bah, he's gone. We must widen our search. See no evidence of this Moogle of yours. You're certain it wasn't a trick of the light? Perhaps it was simply one of these strange plants shifting in the breeze. Oh, shut up, Asinian. No one asked your opinion. I've heard tales of these Moogles, but it's the first time I've ever laid eyes on one. They are rather adorable, aren't they? What? Why do you stare at me so? Can I not find a creature adorable? My heart is not truly made of ice. You're just misunderstood, that's all. I'm sure I glimpsed the Moogle fleeing in this direction. Could he be concealing himself with magic? Yeah, probably. Alphino seems convinced that the Moogles hold the key to finding Ralsvagar. Confounded, could we but enlist the aid of one of the local Moogles? I am certain Ralsvagar would not elude us for long. Though the eye enables me to sense the presence of dragons, I can only identify Nidhogg's within any certainty. We would Could wander with the mist for days and not know if we were any closer to his brood brother. And those are days we cannot well afford to squander. Shall we divide our forces then? Lady Sel, might I ask you to question any dragons whom you judge it safe to approach? I shall try, yet I fear the influence of Nidhogg's rage will render most of the Dravanians in the area deaf to reason. And what of you, Master Alphino? I have not yet given up hope on the Muggles. Come with me to Gridania. I mean to petition the aid of the Muggles, Ken, and the Twelveswood. After that business with Moogle Mog, I dare say they will be glad to help us. They better be. Assuming you have no need of me, I shall remain here. Nidhogg senses both the loss of his consort and the coming of the Eye, and his attention is firmly fixed in this direction. I mean to do what I can to hold his gaze in the hope that it might delay any action against Ishgard. Thank you, Asinian. Come then, let us make haste for Gridania and rendezvous at Nafka's altar, but I neglected to tell you. There's an eighth rate of ancient construction here which should make the return journey rather less arduous. Pray do not forget to use it. We made the mistake once. I'm going to try not making that mistake again. Although I'm sure I'll probably make that mistake again. Actually, believe it or not, I made that mistake on my main character the other day while doing some of the Endwalker content, which, again, I'm being bad and I've been skipping all the cutscenes because it's just like, what I want to do is get up to that content here on stream and then share my first real experience with it here on chat with you guys. Okay, I tuned to it. I sent word to the Elder Seedseer upon arriving in Gridania, and I am pleased to report that she has agreed to grant us an audience. If anyone can help us to contact the Twelveswood Muggles, it is she. We are expected at the Lotus Stand. I trust you are familiar with the Conjurer Station at its entrance. Yeah, let's go see the Seedseer. I bid you welcome, friends. The Admiral spoke of having met with you, but 'tis no less of a relief to see you safe and hail with my own eyes. We humbly thank you for agreeing to receive us upon such short notice, and for all you have done for us in our absence. Would that it were solely to express our gratitude that we came to you this day. Alas, the tides of battle yet dictate our comings and goings, We would beg your wisdom in a matter that may finally bring an end to the Dragon Song War. Speak on, friend. I see, so you seek a means to contact these Moogles of the Churning Mists. I say Kupo. Greetings, Kuplo Cop. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? I was struck by the sudden urge to bring you some fruit, Connie, and I'm jolly glad I did. Tell me more about these Moogles in the sky, Kupo. I'll gladly tell you all I know, though it amounts to precious little. We encountered Moogle high in the clouds of Dravania and had hoped that you and your kin in Twelveswood might agree to facilitate a meeting. Pray correct me if I am mistaken, Kuplo, but there are legends, are there not, which speak of Moogles who dwelled beyond the clouds. Indeed there are, Kupo, long, long ago, back when the world was still young. They say my ancestors served the gods up in the heavens. Of course, that was before their masters took to bickering like spoiled children. Ah yes, the tale of good King Mugglemog the XII. He is revered for holding fast to a rope of miraculous length, that his subjects might climb down from the sky and escape to the world below. Ignoring the more fanciful aspects of the tale, it may well be that Kuplo's ancestors hailed from the Churning Mists, given how long his kin have resided in the Twelveswood. It is perfectly possible that the details of their history have faded into myth. Indeed, Master Alphino, such stories often contain a measure of truth. 'Tis like that the Moogles of the Churning Mists tell similar tales of the world below. I can well imagine why the one you encountered fled at your approach. Oh, fleeing second nature to us. We often hide when the larger races come tramping through the forest. Of course, where there's one Moogle, there's bound to be more. Which is why I've decided to take a trip to the clouds, Kupo. They surely won't be afraid to talk to me. I was hoping you might say that, Master Kuplo. You will accompany us then? Just you try and stop me. Kupo, I'll admit the thought of venturing outside the Twelveswood is a bit unsettling, but I can hardly refuse a chance to meet my distant cousins. If you'll have me, I too will accompany you on this venture and lend my voice to your cause as an ambassador of Gridania. I don't think your people are happy about that. Are you quite certain? How oft has our nation turned to the signs of the seventh dawn in its hour of need? We oft have we asked the Warrior of Light to risk her life to save our own. Oh my, welcome. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the raid, Ellie. Been a while since you guys raided. How was your major spoiler stream of Endwalker? Hey, Fluffy. How oft has your nature turned to the signs of the seventh dawn in its hour of need? How oft have we asked the Warrior of Light to risk her life to save our own? Thank you for the tier 2 sub there, Kumakiri Hayashi. 5 months. 5 months indeed. Always good to see you. Full many times I say to you, and never have they refused us, so I choose this day to offer mine aid to our allies for the good of the realm. I'll draw your guys' cards here in just a few moments. Yeah, your people aren't happy about you going up to the Churning Mists at all. Is this not just? Yeah, we'll follow your orders. Well, we're not happy about it, but we'll follow them. A most unexpected and most welcome offer, Elder Seats here. We would be honored by your presence. Okay, where's that? There we go. So, for the raid of 15 people from Ellie Croy, we draw a volcanic flare. That'd just be like Ellie. Just a massive blast of fire burning everything. Or trying to lead something to do that to one of her friends in a dungeon of some sort. And then for Kumo's tier 2 sub, Raiji Ludamon? Not familiar with that Digimon character at all. But there you go. How are the both of you? Let's see, where do we need to go? I need to speak with Alphino. It's over here. How dare you make me walk just like 20 steps to talk to you? Pray return to the summit and inform our companions of these developments. I will serve as the Elder Seatseer's guide on the journey back to Somal. It being a path I have already trodden, I do not anticipate any great difficulties. Besides, we shall have the Elder Seatseer's personal guards to escort us. Yeah, I really think dragons would be real happy about us as being escorted by a bunch of even more people that they didn't much care to have in their area. Oh yeah, and I need to empty my inventory a bit. So many fish. I will say it again. Fishing off that Endeavor voyage is so good, quick leveling. And you basically never have. Hey, Goosey, how's Goosey? And you basically don't ever have to update your gear for the Endeavor, which is also pretty nice. It's just the timing of the damn thing that's annoying. Oh yeah, I need to make inventory space. You reign supreme on Endwalker Balmung Extreme. Why does that not surprise me, Ellie? It does not surprise me at all. Ellie shall probably remain supreme on that too. Took first on both. Nice. All that hard work you put in is paying off there, Ellie. Oh, be a character. Okay. What do I want to try to... be Goosey. Oh, hmm. Don't think I can do Goosey. What are the rules of that one? I don't know enough about Macho Man to pull off Macho Man. Now, if my friend North was here, he could probably do Macho Man. He's been far bigger into wrestling for years than I have been. I'm trying to think of what a voice I might be able to try and do here real quick and easily. I'll start the timer here once I figure out a voice I want to do. Well, now you see here, young fella. I don't think I can do either one of them. No, that just ain't who I am. You can go ahead and try and peck me, young fella. Ow! Now, back when I was a young whippersnapper, they used to go and... Well, I can't quite remember what they'd throw at us, but they threw stuff at us. Bread? What's this about bread? I ain't got no bread. Uh, well, I've got to unstart that darn tootin' timer. Oh, there's finally. There we go. Well, there, young whippersnapper, do you not respect your elders? Now, why don't we sit down here under this nice old radish tree and sip on our radish juice? Well, that may be true. You may look like a goose. That's kind of hard for me to tell. These old eyes don't see as well as they used to. Used to be I could shoot the balls off a squirrel at 60 paces. Now I can barely shoot the side of a barn. Okay, I think that there may be enough inventory space to keep going on this adventure here. What is this place called? Mogholm. Oh, weird name is that. Ah, the young whippersnappers built this so weird I got stuck. Well met, warrior of light. Nidhogg was not stirred, but he watches us unblinking, I do hereby say. Hmm? The elder seed seer herself, you say, answers your call, and there's naught to do but wait here and try to enjoy some lemonade. Hey, we don't have no darn lemonade. We they done took back the lemon tree. They are here. Greetings, my friend. I'm happy to report that our journey has mercifully uneventful. Devoid as the road was of Dravanians, 'twould seem the dragons have abandoned so all for the churning mists. Elder Sincere, may I present to you Sarastinian, Ishgar's Azure Dragoon. Got all these spiky things on them. What kind of logical sense does any of that make? It's like you just need to stick them up on a wall and leave them there. 'Tis an honor to meet you, Sarastinian. I've heard many tales of your order's extraordinary skill and courage. Friends, I feel it only right to inform you that we are not alone. The Muggles are all around us, even as we speak. I should imagine they are more than a little concerned by the horde of strangers that have descended upon their home. Mayhap now would be an opportune moment to introduce ourselves. Well, back in my day, we'd just bust into a saloon and start shooting six-shooters in both hands up into the ceiling, and went yeehaws, and went up to the bar and got ourselves a whiskey. This should serve. They're hiding, of course, but there are so many of them, Kupo. I am Connie Senna. My companions and I have braved the long road from the Twelve's Wood to share words with you, and words I may not have, but words you will not have, then we'll do something else that'll get you to show up. On this, the occasion of our first meeting, we bring an offering of light and wind. Oh, such a gentle and pleasing glow, Kupo. I am Moglen, the chieftains of this Moogle clan. What are these funny flying creatures? Wonder if they taste any good. Chieftain Moglen, it is an honor to meet you. Greetings, I am Kuplo Kop, ambassador of the Twelve's-Wood Moogles. A Moogle from the world below, your hide is of different hue, but that palm is unmistakable. I might need a moment here. My companions were no less surprised to learn of your existence here amongst the clouds. I hope they did not startle you overmuch in their eagerness to make your acquaintance. Full well can I imagine your wariness. I'm told that men have not walked here nigh on 1,000 winters. Mayhap you... Well, there. We're done with that voice. That's starting to hurt. Mayhap you'll forgive them for their forwardness when I unfold you to the grave matter which first brought them into your midst. My companions crave an audience with the great worm Rosfrgar, that they might negotiate an end to the war twixt man and dragon. An end to the war, you say? I trust you, Connie Sinna. The light of peace shines brightly within your soul. But I'm afraid the same cannot be said of your friends. To be plain, we did not hide ourselves because they were the first of your kind to be seen here in 1,000 years. Well, not only because of that, we hide because we smell dragon blood. These guys are home to many, many dragons. While some crave peace, such as Rosfrgar, many others crave the opposite, such as Nidhogg. Suffice to say, we are worried that the presence of your blood-spattered warrior friends will attract the attention of the nastier kind and invite destruction into our happy home. Now, just a moment, Chieftain. Illusion here may have doled out the odd thrashing or two, but it's always been for a really good reason. She is a champion of the 12 Wood Moogles, and I will not hear her good name slandered. Now, Ambassador, let's not ruffle each other's fur. I shall, of course, take your testimony into consideration. If I may, Chieftain, there is little room for trust twixt strangers. Might we not take this opportunity to learn more of each other? An excellent suggestion, Kupo. In the interest of fostering friendship and keeping an eye on you, I extend to you the hospitality of Mogholm. Prove yourselves worthy of our assistance, and it will be yours. I shall be watching, Kupo. Now, Ellie, I know how much you like Moogles. Is this your favorite area of Final Fantasy XIV, or is there another area that you prefer? Tell me, in the world down below, do all of your kind look so different from one another? It must be terribly disconcerting. What was the Kuplu cop called you again? Your names are odd as your appearance. Have you ever considered a nice Moogle name? Moglin is taken, by the way, Kupo. As are Moghan, Mogmug, and Mogwin. These being the names of the 3 wise Moogles who will administer the momentous challenges that I have devised to measure your worth. I call them the trials of trustworthiness. Your favorite areas in 14 is the Special Fate area and POTD 151 plus. I'm actually rather surprised. Well, not so much the Fate Special area after you showed me that you could actually use the slides there. But that the Palace of the Dead floors 151 and up take precedence over the Moogle areas. Undertake these trials and we shall soon see whether or not you are worthy of our aid. Yes, I am Moghan, the foremost alchemist of Mogholm, if you must know. If your tummy's gloopy or your wings are droopy, I have a potion to fix that. Or I would have if I didn't keep running out of ingredients. Luckily, you're here to do my chore. Or trial. Yes, go forth, mighty adventurer, and mighty pluck the 3 sprigs of cloud's breath for me. You'll find it blooming near the entrance to El Tom, and it's not the safest of places, so don't let yourself be too distracted by the pretty flowers. Although I have a hard time remembering what floors 151 and up look like. It's been so long since I've actually tried making that attempt. Mogmug would test your trustworthiness with a trial. Yes, you have the pleasure of speaking with Mogmug. I know. I am the fluffiest, most enchanting creature you've ever laid eyes upon. It isn't easy being this adorable. I can barely take a stroll outside without those relentless Dravanians throwing themselves at me. Why, they look as if they might just gobble me right up. In any case, fleeing their overbearing adulation is growing a bit tiresome. Your trial, madam, is this. Find these ardent archosaurs and slap some manners into them, Kupo. Perhaps a firm smack on the snout will teach them to appreciate my charm from afar. Mogwin's the name and art is my game. When it comes to painting, there are none in Mogholm who can match my talent with a brush, Kupo. I know why you have come. Chieftain Moglin has demanded that I test your trustworthiness. But as I trust no one to create art that will satisfy me, I instead charge you with retrieving a masterpiece I seem to have misplaced. It was an ambitious and innovative work, guaranteed to fetch at least 4 Kupo notes on the open market. You must find it. Question the masses. Surely a pebble painted with such vibrant color and unmistakable panache cannot have escaped the notice of every Moogle in Mogholm. A pebble. A painted pebble. Unless it's the size of a house, I doubt anyone's noticed. Mongo was missing his masterpiece, Kupo? Oh, you mean that paint-smeared mess of a pebble? I've not seen it recently, in fact, for which my eyes are profoundly grateful. Maestro Mongo has misplaced his masterpiece, Kupo? Oh, happy day. If I am the swifter in finding it, I will soon have a genuine Mogwin for the price of a little perspiration. Honestly, who has 4 Koopa nuts just lying about to spend on such luxuries? I don't know much about this stone, but I do know Mogwin's been creeping out the back way to Somal's summit from time to time. Maybe he left it up there. Moogles, cute and adorable, but are jerks to each other. Fair, I'd say that's fair. I'd say they're probably the cutest and most adorable of the various beast tribes in Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, I forgot to speak with Mogwin. Well, what did you find out, Kupo? Ah, yes, now that you mention, I do seem to recall leaving my pebble out in the sun to dry. The second part of your trial commences go adventure and retrieve my masterpiece where some art-starved admirer swipes the stone for himself. I think probably the most interesting ones, and I never finished them, was the Fae. I thought their story arc was probably the most interesting. And then I think the weren't those stupid little fish guys a beast tribe as well? I don't think I finished that one. The little like stubby catfish creatures. For whatever reason, I remember them being the most annoying of all of them. Now, I could be wrong on that, but that's personally just how I'm remembering it. Actually, I don't think I've actually completed a single of the beast tribes from Shadowbringers or Endwalker. I think I partially completed all of them, but I never finished any of them. Might need to go through on my main and do that at some point. You didn't finish a Realm Reborn one? I'd have to say the one I disliked the most from Realm Reborn set was the what are they called? The Nazalan? The lizard bird things. But that's because I'm really just not much of a crafter. Do you have it, Kupo? Is my masterpiece safe? The Zitali, yes, them. Or Ixtali. Ixtali, that's what it is. Yes, this is my work. Is it not exquisite? I call it Contemplations of Zenith. Thank you, Madame Lisa. Last I can exchange my art for these delectable Kupo nuts. Moglin will hear of this valorous deed. I think it was sometime into Shadowbringers when I finally got around to going, yeah, I'll finish these people up so that way then I can have it done and get the achievement for it. Because I do enjoy getting achievements and things. I just more often hate the difficulty or the mechanics of how you have to go about getting such things. Oh, I didn't have enough to go back in. I remember when basically people first started getting into this area. True, the reward is worth it though. I'm heading off to bed. Might have a new job. There's local work as a technician at the school, so need to get used to sleeping early. Good night. Have a good night. Congratulations on the new job there, Kumokiri. Get that rest. I don't think he's there any longer. The plus side of working at a school as a technician of any sort is more than likely means that you get weekends off. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but since basically more or less they've gotten rid of snow days with doing online learnings now. You were able to humble my Dravanian devotees. Wonderful, you are as capable as I am captivating, Kupo. Still, my precious perfection does not excuse these louts from pursuing me so mercilessly, their tongues lolling and bellies rumbling. The Dravanians and their ilk have much to learn about acceptable acts of admiration. Did you have any trouble finding Cloud's Breath? I do need it quite urgently, you know. Yeah, here you go. Oh yes, these are perfect, Kupo. Now I have the main ingredient for my palm tonic. Speaking of which, how are you feeling, miss? Should you ever feel your palm losing its balance, then I'm your Moogle, Kupo. Hey, I passed all your trials. Can we be friends now? It's ready to pass judgment on your trial performance. If that is what you insist on calling yourself, you have completed the trials of trustworthiness. Administered by the Taskmasters, Moghan, Mogmug, and Mogwin. During these grueling tests of character, I closely observed your conduct as well as that of your companions. And I am decided, Kubu. Gather your friends before me now so that I need not repeat myself needlessly. Are these trials over? Then my tasks have been little more than household chores. If our hosts elect not to grant their aid after working us like pack chocobos, I shall demand compensation Kupu nuts out of principle. But I hope it will come. But I hope it will not come to that. Let us hear the chieftain's verdict, shall we? How go your trials, warrior of light? I myself have been sent on a number of expeditions to just chastise the local dragon population. Did not their chieftain wish to avoid inflaming the Dravanians? Such contradictions aside, our host seemed entranced by the height of my leap. They compared me to Mog, a lance-wielding Moogle warrior of Eld who also favored such attacks. 'Twas meant as a compliment, I expect, but I doubt these furry lumps could outleap a caracal lamb, much less a dragoon. Conclude your business here swiftly, Illusion. I like not this place. Standing here in Mogholm, my thoughts turn inevitably to the legend of good King Mugamog XII and his seat in the heavens. Like most, I thought no more than a myth, a story for younglings that grew with the telling, but with every passing moment I've become more certain that we have discovered the origin of the tale. Full eager am I to hear what the chieftain has to say. We've become such friends, Koopa. My Moogle cousins love to sing and dance as much as I do. Moglin has finally come to a decision, has he? Well, I suppose I'd better flutter over and see him then. What sorcerer is this that my heart should stir at mere fluffiness? But fluffy is good. No matter, what is it? Chief Moglin has made his decision. Well, let us not keep him waiting then. Never have I seen such determined workers, Kupo. It would have taken us moons to complete all these dreary chores and niggling errands. And have our labors proven the purity of our intentions, chieftain? Without doubt. In fact, there was never really all that much doubt to begin with. You were, after all, already friends with a fellow Moogle. But you see, before any meeting with Ralsregard could take place, certain preparations need to be made. And what better way to help you pass the time than by having you perform all the tiresome tasks that no one ever wants to do, Kupo? That just makes me think of Judge Dredd grimacing beneath his visor. Oh dear, the horn! Bring out the horn quickly now! We've loaned this wondrous instrument whenever we wish to speak with the great worm, Kupo. We haven't perhaps been treating it with the care it deserves of late, and I think Moghan may have sat on it. So we need some time for cleaning and polishing and straightening. No lasting harm done, though. Now you need simply head to the zenith, the worm's dwelling to the west, and give the horn a good toot. We are in your debt, chieftain. Thanks to your noble gift, we shall finally have a chance to plead our case to Ralsvagar. Very possible, yes, but I won't get my hopes up too high. The old worm isn't terribly fond of, Your concerns appreciated, but I'm quite certain that Ralsvagar will welcome our overtures. Should we ever arrive at his lair, come, we have squandered enough time already. We thank you for your gracious hospitality. Though we must soon take our leave, I pray that we may continue to nurture the shoots of this new-sprung friendship twixt earth and sky. Of course, Kupu. Visit us whenever you wish. Consider Mogholm your home amongst the clouds. Thank you for the help, Koopa. I doubt I would ever have found time for all those rotten chores. It wasn't my idea. If the chieftain had spent a little less time sitting about and a little more time chieftaining, things would never have gotten so messy in the first place. And he was the one who sat on the horn, by the way. But now all the errands are done, the horn is fixed, so all's well that ends well. Eh, Kupo? If you say so. Ready to lead us out of Mogholm. Well, I expect you're eager to be on your way. Did I mention your friend was looking for you, Kupo? If not, Alphino is looking for you. I'll be waiting just outside, stretching my wings. Let me know when you're ready to depart. Oh wait, I don't need to go anywhere. Alphino's right here. To the best of my knowledge, we have all we need for our trip to Zenith. And I believe the Elder Seats here in her routine will soon be making the journey back to Gridania. It would be remiss of us, I think, not to convey our gratitude to them prior to going our separate ways. Shall we? I do humbly thank you for what has been a most enlightening experience. Were it not for your pioneering spirit, the existence of these Muggles might never have been revealed to us. 'Tis we who should be thankful, Elder Seats here. Were it not for your timely diplomacy, they would never have chosen to reveal themselves at all. And 'twas your presence, Kuplo Kop, that ultimately won us their trust. It must have taken great courage to leave the sanctuary of the Twelves Wood, and we are exceedingly glad that you did. It was my pleasure, Kupo. I've made so many new friends and have so many fantastic tales to tell my kinsmoogles back home. It is our home that we must now return. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal, my friends. Safe journey, Elder Seats here. We too must be on our way. Ralsvagar awaits. Warrior of Light, pray attend closely to your companion, Saracenian. Beneath that stoical facade, a storm of anguish sees unseen. Yeah, the guy's a little nuts. We've seen it. There's not really a whole lot we can really do about it. Have you said your goodbyes and dabbed away your tears, Kupo? Then we are indeed ready to go. He's volunteered to lead you to Zenith. As Chieftain Moglen already explained, the shiny instrument we gave you is the best means of grabbing Roswagar's attention. I'll come along and show you the way to Zenith. That's the big palace where you need to blow the horn. First things first, though, we need to make for a saw. Oh, and watch out for rampaging dragons. Maybe that should have been the first thing, Kupo. Yeah, that probably should have been the first thing. Rampaging dragons are a problem. Though I wonder what a rampaging dragon sign would look like. So I'm sure if you have if there's an area that's prone to stampedes, I'm sure there's some sort of stampede sign that they've got. Basically be prepared for this to happen in this area you're driving through. I wish I knew how to draw, because I got an idea of what it might look like, but I don't really quite have the talent, I think, to really kind of draw that out. For some reason, I think I failed this the first time I came to do this years ago. But I can't remember if that's actually what happened, or is this just how my mind is remembering it happening. Things were a bit bitey for a while there, but I think we've arrived in one piece, Kupo. I wonder what has this dragon so awfully snappy. I mean, bad ones are always bad, but they seem worse than usual. We may have a small, teensy bit of a problem, Kupo. When the winds are high like this, Rosvagar invariably abandons his lofty perch and heads to the lands below to hunt. If you tried blowing the horn now, I doubt he'd hear it. I suggest we stop at the clearing up ahead and rest until the wind dies down. This should do nicely, Kupo. The winds will likely have died down by tomorrow, but until then, we might as well make ourselves comfortable. If we must interrupt our journey so close to its end, I suppose this place is as good as any. And may have a brief respite from the hardships of the road will help to clear our minds in readiness for the coming parley. Very well then, I believe a campfire is in order. Leave the gathering of fuel to me. I acquired a keen nose for firewood during my time in the frozen wastes of Querthis. Fair are mine, since Master Alphinaud, whose mind needs clearing. Thought of meeting a great worm in the flesh has befuddled the boy. Did you see him stroll away as if these ruins were not crawling with deadly beasts? Follow him, and see that the well-lift does not make a meal of our young friend. We will have the camp ready for by the time you return. Seriously? Like, I'm stuck down here? It's just like, why can't you just let me go the way I want to go to get to where I want to go? I see I was right to worry about the boy's safety. Once Afternoon returns with wood, we can see about supper. The Ice Queen has filled his pot with what looked like stew ingredients ready for the fire. I still gotta figure out what I want to cook for dinner here after I get off stream. A few things compared to the simple pleasure of sitting beside a crackling campfire of one's own making. So speaks the great explorer. Until recently, you wouldn't have recognized fire would have came with kindling and a flint. 'Tis well you instructed me so patiently then. But yes, left to my own devices, I would have been compelled to signal to the sail with a pile of damp leaves. Stinian is a dick. I was born to the pampered son of a Charlian dignitary, and alongside my twin, became the youngest student ever to be accepted into the studium. How proud I was to match wits with scholars and philosophers, how ignorant of mine own shortcomings. That hubris invited manipulation and betrayal and led to the downfall of the Scions. We are all guilty of similar ignorance. How many men lay down their lives, never knowing what it is that they fight for, never questioning that which they have been taught to believe. Twas only me meeting Rolfsregard that I learned the truth hidden within our history. Were it not for this chance encounter, I would never have vowed to tear down the Holy See and expunge the falsehoods with which it fans the flames of conflict. I would have lived and died in ignorance that the truth has driven me to do such terrible things I cannot deny, but I'd rather sin in the pursuit of peace than imagine myself virtuous of perpetuating a needless war. If this journey has taught me anything, it is the importance and difficulty of holding to one's convictions. In the face of failure, of striving always to replace one's ignorance with knowledge. You are well on your way, Master Alphino. At your age, I was but a fool, swinging a spear with scarcely a thought in my head. Even now, I struggle to acknowledge the misconceptions under which I have labored. Sitting here amongst these grand ruins, how can I deny that men and dragon once lived in peace? But for all that such an age existed, we're now in a time of war. Nidhogg killed my family, and no quirk of history will exonerate him. I may be ignorant of how the Dragonsong War began, but if we do not put an end to the conflict now, I can say for certain that it will only breed more vengeful souls such as mine. In my hands resides the power to vanquish a great worm. If Ishgard's survival rests on my yielding that power, I will slay Nidhogg myself, orders or no. Isinian, you gave your word. My word is contingent upon the success of our parley. Show me the strength of your convictions, Lady Iceheart. Convince Rosregard of the righteousness of your cause. Doubt not but that I shall, Dragoon. Well, winds willing, we shall have our answers on the morrow. Let us sleep now and face our fate with the rising of the sun. Is gazing meaningfully at the path to zenith. The campfire was so cozy I must have fallen asleep, Kupo. But do you feel how the winds have shifted? They will have borne Rosregard back to the skies above zenith, I'm sure of it. This is your chance to climb to the highest floor of the palace and summon him with a toot on that shiny horn. So I'll be heading back now if it's all the same to you. Good luck, Kupo. It was nice knowing you. Okay, okay. Ruins indeed. Could use some repair though. Might as well grab this while I'm up here. We disturb it because we can. Because disturbing things is what we do, and we do it very well.
Hraesvelgr.
I'm not sure whether that's an actual language or just something they made up for this, but I'm sure if it's something that was made up just as just made up language for the game, the voice actor just would have been like, "What is this? What am I saying? What kind of nonsense am I getting paid for?"
By the 12. Mine ears hear the tongue of dragons, yet the meaning rings clear within my mind. How can that be?
Hraesvelgr, do you not remember me? 'Twas I whom you found in Dravania. I who glimpsed the truth. The truth about your past. About Shiva. But speak it I must. I have summoned Shiva's soul from the beyond and offered myself as her vessel. She has made her heart known to me. I have surrendered mine to her. Do you not see, my love? I am Shiva reborn. Then the spirit that answered me.
Be that as it may, Lord Hraesvelgr, Izel's desire to heal the rift between man and dragon is real, and it has borne us this far. We would spare both our kind and yours the ravages of this senseless war. Pray join your voice to ours in a call for peace and forgiveness.
That is horrible.
Your tale bears scant resemblance to the one I was taught. How convenient that it should absolve your kind of all responsibility. But tell me, Dragon, why should I believe your version of events?
I can see why.
Ishgard's so-called heretics.
Then, the seed lies within us.
Ye gods, I have borne witness to such a transformation. Looked on as a heretic assumed the shape of a dragon. I imagined it some manner of Dravanian enchantment. But if any Ishgardian, regardless of allegiance, has such potential within them, 12 forgive us. To think of all the dragons we've slain!
That is a lot.
Oft have I wondered why Nidhogg did not simply raze Ishgard to the ground. Now I have my answer. He has no intention of winning the Dragonsong War, for it is no war at all, but vengeance. An eternal requiem sung for his murdered sister.
I have not come this far only to admit defeat. We can still return the eye to Nidhogg and beg forgiveness for our ancestors' crimes. Mayhap our words will sway him.
I doubt it, but we could try. Doesn't mean we can't try. Basically, piss off. I don't like you people. Go away. You're doomed. Rosbergar was every bit as awe-inspiring as I imagined. His voice fairly dripped with power. The will behind his words so undeniable that it transcended my ignorance of the dragon's tongue. 'Tis but a pity that I misliked what he said. So far did we travel, even unto the very heavens themselves, only to be dismissed like unruly children. And far from mitigating this humiliation, the hidden truth we have learned served only to prove that our grand mission of peace was destined to fail from the start. Nothing will deter Nidhogg from his course.
Well, what do you propose we do now? I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
What is there to be found in the east?
Nidhogg's lair, the Eyrie, is said to lie in that direction. And the eye tells me he is near.
You cannot still mean to slay him.
You cannot still mean to stop me. I have been true to my word, and aided you in this fool's errand with Hraesvelgr. But your efforts at parley have come to naught, Lady Iceheart. I would see Ishgard saved, and for that, Nidhogg must die.
With the tale of our ancestors' vile betrayal yet ringing in your ears, you speak of continuing this war?
Nay, lady. I would but pierce its vengeful heart. When Nidhogg dies, this war shall die with him.
A moment, Estinian. You yourself spoke of the Great Worm's strength, that you believed him powerful enough to raise your city to the ground. How then are we few to challenge him? Even behind the stout walls of Ishgard, with an army of knights manning the defenses, our victory would be hard won. Yet you propose to contend with the beast in his own lair.
In close combat, this will afford us an advantage.
Sure
And
it will.
if the tales are true, the Warrior of Light has bested many an invincible foe. But such speculation is meaningless if we cannot even find the worm. Our first task must be to seek out Nidhogg's lair.
The story of this nation grows bloodier by the moment. Must death always be answered with more of the same?
Unfortunately.
Such is the way of things, I fear. I shall consider it a miracle if mine armor is not stained crimson ere this conflict is ended.
That I should be blinded by my own lies. Everything I believed, everything I thought I was, gone. All gone.
Leave her. Your words will not reach her now. And we have not the time to wait for her to gather up the pieces of her shattered faith.
Well, Cineum, you just weren't such a dick. I just realized I was looking over right there at the Stream Raiders battle, and it's like, oh, wait. Oh, I got someone thinking my face over here. That ain't good.
Is that it?
Aye, that would be the Eyrie. I feel Nidhogg's presence through the eye, his caustic hatred gnawing at my soul. Twould seem the death of his consort has put him on guard. Mark how he wards his lair with tempestuous winds.
A similar barrier once barred our entrance to the Primal Garuda's domain, until we discovered the means by which it could be penetrated. Mayhap it is time we called upon Master Garland. It will be just like the good old days, no?
Oh, maybe. Won't know till we try. Same would have you enlist the aid of Sid Garland. A force of sufficient power to break through the Primal's defenses might conceivably grant us access to the Eyrie. And I can offer no better solution. Pray consult this engineer friend of yours. Very well, on the condition that you were to swear not to lure Nidhogg from his lair in our absence. And seal all the glory for you. Myself, you mean? Nay, I am not so selfish as that. Contact me by Link Pro when your preparations are complete, and we shall set forth for Mishgard together. I suggest we rendezvous back at St. Renaud's Forum illusion. From what I gleaned of the Holy See's decidedly ambitious airship project, Sid will still be in Ishgard. Where's that at? When last you saw Master Garland, he was advising the Ishgardians on their ailing airship, correct? In that case, he might still be in Camp Cloudtop. Failing that, to the airship landing or maybe even the Sky Seal manufactory. But let's not waste time searching aimlessly. Someone in the city is sure to know where to find him. The question is who. Sir Merrick would seem the obvious choice, but there's no guarantee he'll be able to grant us an audience at short notice. Ah, I have it. Count Edmont's youngest son prides himself on knowing all of the Holy See's juiciest rumors. Let's return to the manor and see if Lord Emlane is about. Ah, the hero returns. How goes the fight, old girl? I trust. Search for Sid Garland, you say, then say no more. Taverns are full of talk, and the name of said silver-haired genius has cropped up more often than most. I hear he has been tasked with getting that monstrous airship the Holy See commissioned to actually fly. It would seem the project has been plagued with mishaps from the first. In any case, Garland Ironworks employees are known to frequent the airship landing, and I'll wager their master does too. The airship landing? Yes, I thought as much. Come, we must find Sid and trouble him for his expert opinion. Alvino, how fare you both? Not terribly well, judging by your faces. Greetings, Master Garland. I'm sure it will come as a little surprise when I tell you we have need of a favor. Another wind barrier, and you say it was conjured by Nidhogg? The Enterprise would certainly take you where you need to go, but she would not fare well against dragons. She's agile for a ship her size, but not that agile. The Javonians would fly rings around her. And if they took it to their heads and incinerate the rigging, there would be precious little we could do to avoid them. But there must be something we can do, some manner of weapon we could employ. Seeing seems vigil at the edge of the turning mist, but we do not know how much longer. Alright. I didn't say it was impossible. I said it was impossible for the Enterprise. We need a smaller boat. Biggs, Wedge, it's time you gave that new toy of yours a proper field test. It's probably best if I let the lads show you. Come on, the manufactory's not far. But it is far. I gotta go over here. To make it not far, I need to come over here and use this Aethernet shard. Which, judging by the lack of any real medical technology or facilities, who knows what cancer is using the Aethernet is giving the Warrior of Light. Our little project's just inside. Oh, you're going to like this one.
Feast your eyes upon our latest and greatest feat of engineering. We call it a mana cutter.
After you put down Gaius, Wedge and me struck out on our own for a bit, and started work on the successor to the tiny Bronco.
Impressive little thing, isn't she? My talent for ship design has plainly rubbed off on them.
He has such an amazing voice actor.
They've adapted the principles of corrupted crystal technology and constructed a mechanism which converts ether from its surroundings into elemental wind. Said wind is then harnessed by the specially engineered sails, providing the craft with propulsion and lift. All in all, a most elegant solution. I'm actually a little upset that I didn't think of it myself.
The design does, however, come with one small flaw.
The energy conversion ratio is bloody awful. To generate enough power to get you off the ground, you need to be in an area awash with predominantly wind-aspected ether.
In other words, there are a few places you can fly, lots of places you can't.
The new Ishgardian airship hasn't left the boys much time for tinkering, meaning it may be a while before this particular project takes off. If you'll forgive the pun.
Tataru, what's happened?
I've been looking all over for you. There's been word from Aldar. It's about Her Grace, the Sultana.
Okay, what's going on? Out with it.
Seems you're required elsewhere. Leave the Mana Cutter with us. We'll see that she's airworthy and suitably equipped to slice through those winds. You, meanwhile, should concentrate on providing Raoban and the Sultana whatever help they need.
News from Olda. Extra, extra, read all about it. General Bond says they may have uncovered the Sultana's whereabouts. And he wants you, by which I mean both of you, to go to the Waking Sands right away and help with the investigation. Come, Illusion, pressing through Ishgard's plight may be our presence here will not serve to hasten the Mana Cutter's completion. Let's return to the troubled lands of Thanalan and lend what aid we may. Tataru, have our friends at the congregation send a message to Sinian. Tell them we have identified a solution to our problem, that it will take some time to prepare. As you wish, Master Alphino. To the Waking Sands, Warrior of Light. This 'tis past time Ulda was delivered from this darkness. Nope, wrong city-state. Oh, wait. Waking Sands. I'm in the wrong spot. That's Vesper Bay. Duh. I was thinking Quicksand. Or as us Balmung veterans know it as, the Squicksand.
Thank you for coming.
No thanks are necessary, General. I trust your recuperation continues apace.
I cannot complain. Thanks to Higiri and her ministrations, I've regained much of the strength I lost during my imprisonment.
I gather you have made progress in the search for Her Grace.
Aye, some good fortune at last. A few days past, Dulala informed us that a sizable shipment of alchemical supplies had been delivered to the palace.
With Papa Shan's assistance, I set out to ascertain the source and nature of the shipment. My inquiries led me to Frondale's frontistery. There, I learned that an order had been placed for a curious substance designed to sustain patients trapped in death-like slumber. An invention of the former head alchemist, apparently.
A death-like slumber? This cannot be a coincidence.
Nope, probably
It lends
not.
some weight to Dulala's claims, aye. Her Grace is likely somewhere within the palace, abed but alive.
Before making any attempt to extricate the Sultana, however, it seemed prudent to learn what manner of substance was used to induce her torpor. To that end, I made inquiries as to the whereabouts of the one most like to have administered it. The lady in waiting, Meriel. We sent for you as soon as we learned of her location. All that remains is to apprehend the woman.
We shall find our cat's paw in the Silver Bazaar. But we must tread carefully. The market is not the bustling place it once was, and someone is sure to mark our coming. Should they inform the monetarists, we'll have a fight on our hands. We must be prepared for the worst, and being short an arm, I thought it wise to take another in its stead. What say you, Warrior of Light? Will you lend me yours?
Sure.
Then I pity the bastard that stands in our way. Come, my friend, for Nanamo, and for Uldar!
Our target is Mariel, the Sultan's former lady in waiting, a woman of Midlander heritage. I'm told the two of you have met. Our sources indicate that she left the palace shortly after the incident and quietly rejoined the dwindling population of the Silver Bazaar. I suggest we begin by questioning the market's residents and confirm that Mariel is still in hiding there. See, I can fly here, but I mean, technically I don't think I really should be able to. Because flying was never a thing that you found out about until Heavensward. So I really feel like until Heavensward and you actually learned about flying and actually had unlocked flying there, I don't think that they should have let you be able to fly here in the Realm Reborn areas yet. It just doesn't make sense. mean, not say I'm not going to take advantage of having the ability. Just saying that it should have been barred for people new to the area. And what brings you to our lonely little hamlet? I believe the arrival of your entourage just about doubled our population. Looking for mail, you say? If you're hoping to lure her back to Oda, you may as well give up now. The girl's done with the city life. Do I know of any returning residents? Gods, don't tell me you're starting to come back. My masters will not be pleased to hear this. Mariel, aye, she's here. Left the city for good, she says. Barely leaves her house, though. It's the one closest to the market entrance.
You are Meriel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting?
I know no one of that name. Pray excuse me. General Alden.
We will have the truth from you, girl.
Mayhap it would be better coming from me.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Lonorito, you'd best talk fast.
As you know, Teleji Adeleji's Cartano reclamation bill was no more than a facade. A means to get his grubby little hands on that Allagan monstrosity Omega. When he learned of Nanamo's intention to abdicate, however, he was forced to amend his plans. Suddenly, assassination seemed the most promising way to further his ambitions. I am told Teleji had discovered a maid in whose veins ran the blood of House Thorn, a new, more pliable puppet to sit the throne. 'Twould have caused an uproar, of course, but few could have contested her claim. Twas plain that Teleji's wild machinations had outgrown our ability to control them. So I decided to usurp his scheme and left the fool to seal his own demise.
And what of Nanamo?
Oh, I have no desire to harm her grace. 'Twould profit me little to destabilize our government. Thus did I employ young Mariel here to administer a potent sleeping potion in place of a poison. You should know, General, that your dear friend Ilberd was fully aware of my plan. I had him lie about the assassination as a means to prime your rage against Teleji. We weren't entirely sure how you would react, but things went rather better than expected.
You conniving little worm! You had your claws in the Crystal Braves before their first recruit had sworn to serve!
But of course, when a new game begins, 'tis only prudent to have a piece on the board. Ilberd was mine. Truth be told, a significant proportion of the Braves' initial endowment was also mine. With such large sums moving about, 'twas a rather trifling matter to disguise my own contribution. Ah, Ilberd. I secured his services with a promise to support his cause once my authority had been solidified. I swear, the man thinks of naught but prizing Alamigo from the grasp of the Empire. Unlike you, General, the poor fellow seems quite unable to forsake the land of his forefathers. Mayhap that's why he called you a traitor to your people and a disgrace to your homeland, amongst other things. What was it he always compared you to? Oh, yes, an overgrown lapdog begging for scraps at the Sultana's table. Oh, how we laughed. Alas, Ilberd's entertaining little outbursts eventually gave way to wearisome tirades, and the zealous brute became rather unruly. I had no wish to see you executed, you understand, but he would not take no for an answer. Rest assured, his employment with me has long since ended. Which brings us neatly to the present. What say you, General? Both you and the Sultana are alive. We have one corpse and one fugitive. And preparations have been made to restore your good name. Shall we cry quits and start again with a blank ledger?
The hells we will!
Yeah, for now, because now I gotta play a better game.
After all you've done, you're guilty of high treason!
Stay your blade, Master Alden. You yourself are not innocent. Or have you forgotten your own crime in executing Teleji Adeleji without trial? Though you acted out of loyalty to the Sultana, such deeds are in violation of both the word and spirit of the law. If you would, Lord Lolorito?
This potion will wake the Sultana from her slumber. Consider it a gesture of conciliation. You will find her grace resting comfortably within her private chambers. Should you doubt my word, I shall willingly accompany you to the palace as your hostage.
I like not your motives, Lolorito. But you saved the Sultana's life, and for that, you have my gratitude.
Rauban Aldin, you are hereby reinstated as General of the Immortal Flames. The citizens of Ul'dah shall once more be united under Nanamo Ul'Namo, and together we shall usher in a new age of prosperity.
Okay. By the 12, I feared Lord Lolorito's arrival would herald another bloodbath. Little did I suspect that he of all people would gift us the means to rouse the Sultana. Okay, well, I feel like that is a good place to stop for tonight. Let's take a look and see who's out there to raid. If anyone has any suggestions, let me know, but I think... Let's take a look at the list here. What are my options? Well, it looks like my only option is Fizzy. So when we move over, go ahead and copy and paste this into chat. Fizzy looks like he's doing some Party Finder Extreme Trials and leveling with some Endwalker spoilers thrown in the mix. So if you're wanting to avoid said spoilers, you may want to just lurk once we move across. But thank you all for showing up. Thank you for the lovely raid, Ellie. Um, let's give her a shout out here real quick before we head out. I forgot to do this earlier. Why didn't my shoutout not work correctly? Oh, I misspelled Ellie Croy. Then we got a little clip there from Ellie.
Buster on Odelia Sapphire. Superb Al.
What is... I wonder what that's a clip for.
AoE.
I don't know. I'm sure there was a reason someone took that clip, but I did not see what it was. But till then, have a wonderful rest of your night.